Hi everyone, this is Khaja Faiz Hussain.
And this is Khaja Faisal Hussain.
Welcome to the Vocabulary Tablet. Well, we all know that there are many students around the globe who are passionate about pursuing higher studies abroad, be it bachelor's, master's, or even PhD. But there are always a lot of queries and crises of information regarding what to do, when to do, and so on. Well, in this video, and hopefully with the help of the upcoming videos of this series, we'll answer most of the questions that are often encountered by students willing to study overseas.
And since we have studied our Masters in Aerospace Engineering from Sapienza University of Rome, and having been spent a couple of years in Italy, we can share our views and some very important aspects of living in Italy.
Firstly, let's have a look on life in Italy. Well, for me, whenever I hear the word Italy, a picture of Colosseum and Vatican City just flashes through my mind. Well, I hope that's the same case for almost all the people out there.
Rome, an eternal city that brims with ancient history, from Colosseum to the port of Ostia Antica and the Sistine Chapel. And not to forget its amazing cuisine, from pasta to gelato and from pizza to lasagna. It's a food heaven, and that makes it one of the most desirable places to live and study.
Well, not just its history that makes it a splendid city, but it's also the people who contribute equally to make the city lively. Well, the Italians are very friendly and at the same time very conservative. Well, you might ask this question to me, how can people both be friendly and conservative? Well, there's an answer for that. If you speak English in front of them, they start acting conservative because they're just not comfortable speaking in English. Whereas if you approach them in Italian, they'll give it all to help you out no matter in what situation you are. They act very friendly if you approach them in Italian.
And I'm sorry, but to add on to this, there's a very less percentage of population that speaks very fluent in English. The only people we came across were our professors and the college officials from our university. So other than that, the percentage of people speaking English is very low.
Yeah, so here comes the golden tip. Spend time in learning Italian. That's one thing we couldn't do because of our tight academic schedule. But if you balance things out pretty well, then probably you'll also be able to learn Italian and interact with as many people as possible.
So if you want to stay and survive in Italy, you got to make sure that you have your chows and comistiais in place because they're going to come in handy.
Yeah, but speaking about this, I also remember a funny instance. Well, do you also remember it?
Of course.
Remember we were going to college and we wanted to pick a different route.
Yeah, and that was your idea.
Whoever's idea it was,
Yeah.
but we actually lost the track of college route.
And we also lost a lot of things. For example, our classes that day.
Yeah, because we ultimately had to come back home. We asked for help to a gentleman there. He was quite helpful. He gave his 100% to help us out, but all we could understand were his hand gestures and
A little bit of Italian.
Yeah, and our guesswork actually led us back to home.
Yeah, but he spoke a lot. Like he spoke literally a lot, and he was genuine enough to help us out. But everything was passing right above from our heads because we were not so fluent in Italian back then. So yeah, I mean that resulted in, of course, losing our classes and getting back home. So if you guys are stranded somewhere, then maybe what you guys can do is just go back the same way you came in. That's a good thing because anyhow, if you try to know the correct directions from anyone, I don't think it's quite a help. So maybe.
Yeah, but after that we can talk about the expenses part, which is very important. I think the students who are planning to go abroad, they hardly have any idea about the expenses and also about the budgeting part.
Yeah.
So coming on to the budget and the expenses, there are quite a few expenses after landing in Italy because you might have to deal with legal formalities that cost initially, but for now we'll deal with the per month expenses like for the accommodation, the food and grocery and stuff.
Yeah, regarding the legal formalities, we're going to make another video very soon.
Sure.
Because in that we're going to focus very precisely on how much is the cost for each thing. But then for now, let us just focus on accommodation. Well, the cost you want to spend on an accommodation depends on the type of accommodation you prefer. For example, there are a couple of types which you will find a majority, especially in Rome. The first one is a place which is owned by a subcontinental guy, for example, a Pakistani or a Bangladeshi or an Indian, as a matter of fact, who is trying to live in Italy and trying to settle down. He takes a house on lease and he has a couple of rooms vacant, and so he tries to pull in some students, so that he can charge them monthly. In that case, the rent for a student will be around 150 euros to 180 euros. So this is the range. But the catch here is that it is including all the bills. For example, the water bill, the electricity bill, the gas bill, everything is included in this 150 to 180 euros. Alright, now if you go on to the second type of accommodation, which is probably offered by an Italian who is a native.
Yes.
Yeah, so he will charge around 250 euros to 300 euros a month. That is the rent. But the catch here is that no bills are included in this cost.
You might have to.
Yeah, so you have to pay all the bills separately apart from this 250 euros. So the bills, as you guys know, the gas bill, the water bill, the electricity bill,
Depends on the usage.
yeah, and also there's something called the condominium bill, which is like the maintenance of the entire house and the apartment, and there's one very important factor in the second type of accommodation is that you will have to give a security deposit right in advance.
Yes.
Okay, so in the first month you will have to pay a security deposit, which is decided completely by the owner. I cannot give you a figure.
Mostly it is equivalent to the rent.
Yeah, mostly it is equivalent to the first month rent. So you will have to pay the security deposit and the first month's rent. Okay, by the time you'll be leaving that house, you'll be given back the security deposit. That is another matter, but as a matter of fact, you have to put the security deposit as an amount. So so I've described in detail the two kind of accommodation, but a very important point, I would like to take you guys back to the first accommodation that is given by the subcontinental guys, for example a Pakistani or a Bangladeshi or an Indian. The catch is that most of the houses offered by these kind of people, they try to rope in a lot of students. For example, 13 to 15, because we ourselves, we had to stay with 13 people.
Oh, the catch is just one kitchen and a common washroom.
Yeah.
With just 3 bedrooms. So you guys can guess the big picture.
Yeah, you guys are very smart. But then a takeaway from this description I would like to give you guys is that the type of accommodation a student chooses is completely their choice and according to their priority, because some people like lavish lives, they want a complete space for themselves with good privacy. It might cost a bit more, but then they want to get whatever they want to. On the other hand, if there are people who are financially constrained and they're not willing to spend enough money on an accommodation, then they can go for the first option. But the catch is it might be a little difficult, but then
But it does give a lot of savings, because we have experienced that the savings part is satisfactory.
Yeah, so you'll be able to do a lot of savings, but there are pros and cons for every option.
Trade-offs.
Yeah, so that's the thing here. So yeah, guys,
So that's it.
Yeah,
That's it for this video. I hope you guys got a lot of information from this video. We would like to tell you to like this video, subscribe to Vocabulary Tablet, and share it with as many people as possible so that the information spreads.
and guys, this is just an introduction video where we have covered a couple of aspects of the accommodation, which is very important. We have covered in this video, but let me tell you, please stay tuned because there's a lot of content coming your way in the upcoming videos. Content like
The visa application, the admission procedures,
scholarships,
about the course, the university, etc., a lot more.
Yeah.
So please stay tuned. And once again, do not forget to subscribe for the channel and like this video. Thank you.
Until then, ciao.
So guys, until then, ciao.
Ciao.